I'm Pops, and I just finished watching Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 5, and I really haven't done a focused video on the show in a minute, and really wanted to just get my thoughts out here before I got to get back to other shows because there's other stuff to do. And let me first begin by saying that I recently have been watching Orville, all caught up, so basically 2 full seasons and a couple episodes, and it's a freaking crying shame that a comedian who wrote Family Guy can write better science fiction and have more appreciation of the fans and the lore and the characters than Disney and the people that are running the Star Wars universe now. It's freaking crying shame. It's insulting, and it's just sad, to be honest. It really, really is sad. So maybe you're out there and you love this episode, love the show. Maybe you're hearing other people say that. This show is freaking horse crap, and this episode is no exception. It contradicts itself, or it contradicts things that happened in previous episodes. They just say things that kind of imply other plot hole solutions. We have people who survive mortal wounds for no apparent reason. It just keeps going. So, well, without further ado, it starts with a quick recap, which is this absolutely moronic premise in the previous episode where Reva is interrogating Leia because she's been kidnapped for a second time and taken to the Inquisitorium, because that makes a lot of creative sense, is to call it the Inquisitorium. She is going to interrogate this child. We're told now, we have confirmation in the episode that she's 10 years old. I don't know how they measure years, and Alderaan is the same as Earth, I guess, but reality is she's 10. And she's being interrogated about where the rebels are, because she knew that somehow the Organas were connected to Kenobi, hence the kidnapping scheme. But she needs to find out where they are. She needs to find out where the rebels are. So I'm not sure why she needs to interrogate the 10-year-old and not Bail Organa. Anyway, Obi-Wan basically had to break her out. They had this contrived plan where Tala, who has gotten away with pretending that she was an Imperial officer, helps sneak him in. He swims below the surface and gets in that way. She is helping him through all of that. There are scene after scenes where Obi-Wan is kind of not able to use the Force, and then suddenly he's able to hold back this cracking glass before this water collapses in. So we're not told exactly why his Force powers, which were sort of suppressed in the first part of the show and the whole setup with the whole, he allegedly has PTSD for like a decade, and he's basically been completely useless to Luke during this whole time, but he's distanced himself from the Force. He's buried his lightsaber in the middle of the desert, but suddenly when he needed to in this episode, all of his powers come back. He's able to save the day. There's this grand confrontation, which, by the way, I want to see if I can get to, this was just him kind of cutting down the lights, cutting down the stormtroopers, getting away, before you get to this scene where Obi-Wan has hidden Leia in his coat to sneak out as the snow speeders arrive to save the day, and they get away. Reva, basically at the last second, she throws this box and kills this, it basically kills Wade. R.I.P. Wade. So Wade's dead. Wade's dead. I know you're thinking you were hoping for Wade, you were cheering for Wade, but you're not going to get Wade. Anyway, Vader lets her live because allegedly she puts a tracker on them. Now, I don't understand why it was a big confusion about where they're going to go or anything, because obviously we all know where Leia's got to go back to the home planet where she was kidnapped from, but evidently even Vader's playing along with this moronic plot. So that's kind of where we left off, is all of that. Now, this episode 5 opens with this interesting tease, because I don't know about you, but I was like, okay, hold on. We're going to go to episode 5, and we're going to have Anakin finally show up, because we've heard Hayden Christensen is part of the show. So now we're finally going to get some actual Vader. We're actually going to get some Vader story, some backstory. Like we're going to get something interesting on the adventures from clones or something, right? So basically, you're having this sort of training duel between Obi-Wan and Anakin. I feel so. We have this training between Obi-Wan and Anakin that we kind of flash back to a couple times, and this is kind of how it plays out. And then we cut to Vader. So it's as though Vader is remembering this, is what's implied for the writing. And Reva shows up and basically quickly just gets promoted. That's basically what's going to happen here. Just kneel. They know where he is because evidently we're all going to continue to pretend that we don't know where he's going to go or where he is. Those kinds of things. So he tells her to kneel and then basically just makes her Grand Inquisitor because, right? So they're going to go to Jabiim, which is where he allegedly is. And I guess this is supposed to be the same place they've been. And I don't know why there's a lot of weird, like, standing around. Like, you have to know that all of this mission would have brought so much heat on the planet that you would be, like, having, like, a get off the planet party, like, ASAP. But nope, they're just standing around. And amongst them is Haja, the guy who was a fake Jedi back in episode 2. Helped him get off the planet, was confronted by Reva, but was left to live for no reason. And again, played very cringy, man. I don't know. I can't do this character at all. And he has this thing he'll do. You know, he refers to a scary lady Inquisitor. Like he just can't. I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm going to have to blame the director, maybe the actor a little bit, but the jaw movement and the eyebrows are sort of overplayed. I feel like we're doing theater. We're not actually doing Star Wars. So this is Junior Forrest Whitaker. It's like the knockoff Rebel version. If they had just made him a young version of Forrest Whitaker, at least I would have had some ties to Rogue One. It would have made a lot more sense. Instead, this is the guy who basically is like, well, my wife was Force sensitive. They found her out and they killed her, so I can't help you. Okay, I'll help you. Because that's how the writing goes on the show. So it's basically, I need to get this kid to Alderaan. It's going to be bad. Everybody hurry up. We got to go now. So they've all been standing around, allegedly not doing anything. And then we cut back to Vader, who is going through hyperspace, trying to get himself to Jabiim in time. And information is irrelevant. You find out that the little robot is being controlled by the Empire because the dots turn from blue to red. So the little Lola robot that Leia has is being controlled by the Empire. It's being activated from space wherever the Empire is because they're not anywhere close to this planet, presumably. Yet they're able to activate Lola with some sort of magical freaking garage door opener remote. And Obi-Wan comes across carvings because, oh, look, Star Wars stuff. Look, there's the symbols. There's words. We know what things mean. Oh, I bet there are references to novels and video games and characters that Disney Star Wars has either disrespected or completely ignored. Anyway, Obi-Wan says, the light will fade, but is never forgotten. Uh-huh. Okay, thanks. And then there's like a whole bunch of lightsabers. So then Obi-Wan is now going to have his moment where he touches the lightsaber. He feels all emotional about it for a quick second. And then he picks up a cloak. Nothing happened. Nope, that's it. Just an emotional moment where he's just thinking about things. Cut back to Lola, because Lola is going to close the roof. Vader's coming. Okay, again, not much of a sense of urgency. Cut back to Anakin and Obi-Wan, who's basically given him a little life lesson of, like, you're being aggressive, overly aggressive. You just got to win, so therefore you're being too vulnerable. And then Vader, presumably from a Star Destroyer, we don't show the ship. We just show the interiors with shots like this, which is a cool shot, to be honest. That's a freaking cool shot. Vader reflecting off the visuals with the planet in the background. Cool, very cool. Moments like that get ruined because there's no real subplot subtext or time. So we did get a little Star Destroyer here. I stand corrected. Look at that. We actually got a little quick shot, which will definitely contradict the escape plan later on, just so we're completely clear. Again, notice no one in the background's racing away. Vader's coming. The Empire is literally like in orbit. And oh, by the way, we're just going to stand around. Everybody just stand around. Stand around. So literally we just keep moving because the Empire's coming. Their plan is seal the doors, have cutaway shots of like the 3 aliens that are in the room, because we don't really have very many aliens in Star Wars anymore. Definitely not with the Rebels. They don't have. They're very anti-alien, evidently. Stormtroopers set up outside in this very strange. Like, notice how they're facing opposite to each other, and these are faced here. So did they turn? They turn as she walks by. Okay. Gosh, I just can't. I still don't understand why she doesn't look like an Inquisitor. So we're 10 minutes in, and she's finally showed up to where we know they're going to be, and they basically open fire on the blast doors to no avail, hence the term blast doors, meaning they can handle a blaster. But they set up an ion cannon outside, so it's not going to last very long. Right? So that's kind of basically where we're at. Roken, this guy, is trying to figure out how to open the door to the roof that Lola closed. They're looking, and it's just too big a space. We can't crawl around. So I wonder what they're going to do. You wonder what they're going to do? You know what they're going to do. They're going to look to Leia. She'd be super, super important. Get her the ladder. I didn't know why I thought they were called risers. I'm like, all right, so whatever. So little Leia is now going to be given, I guess, the ability to go up in this little crawl space and hit some sort of red button and open the roof. Be careful. Be careful. Right? Now, when she gets up in the hole, it's not a crawl space, and it's not like a little red button. It's a freaking 1980s computer room with cables and cords absolutely everywhere. There's buttons everywhere. I don't understand why she doesn't lean out and go, I don't know which one to push. I need some help. I can't do this on my own. And notice she just starts fishing around like she knows. Like, I don't understand that there's Princess training in Alderaan on computer repair, but evidently there is. Freaking morons. Meanwhile, we continue to break all of the rules that make no sense. The Empire is outside. Bail Organa is going to reach out to Obi-Wan and basically make reference to Luke and say, if I don't hear back soon, I'm just going to assume things have gone awry and I'm going to go to Tatooine. The Empire is right there. They would be able to intercept all of these transmissions. This makes no sense whatsoever. I understand that Bail Organa would be worried. I understand all of that. But the fact that he would risk the transmission is the problem. And the fact that Obi-Wan is doing this knowing that the Empire is right outside. Meanwhile, Talia, the white woman that's got the little crush on Obi-Wan, there's a little talky talk, because I know the Empire's at the door. I know they're literally firing a cannon at the door. But we got to talk for a minute about her feelings, and Obi-Wan, like, we got to talk about their feelings. Like, I know the Inquisitors would do. I know it's emotionally, it's motion time. We're just going to sit around. I don't know why they're not having food, having a sandwich in a cafe like a CW show. So his solution is, we're not going to be there yet. We just got to continue to talk. Sorry, folks. I get a little. To be honest, it's such a dribble, and it's just a bunch of irrelevant mush all just thrown together. It's not like this compartmentalized story that kind of moves through in a way that makes any sense. They just kind of throw stuff out there. Like, I don't understand how the freaking stormtroopers and Vader is on his way, but we're going to stand here and talk about their feelings for a few minutes. We're like 15 minutes in, and basically nothing has happened other than they landed on the planet that everyone knew they were going to, and they're all just standing around as the Empire sets up outside and fires on them. The roof gets closed, and we rely on the child to try to save everyone. That's pretty much where we're at 15 minutes in. So Obi-Wan comes out, and he says, tell the Inquisitor I want to talk. Talk. Okay. So his solution is he's going to go out. We don't know. We think he's just going to open the doors or whatever. No. It's going to walk to the blast door. They're going to talk through the blast door. Yeah, everyone just stands there like they would remotely be helpful. And we're going to have to just presume that they're. Are we supposed to think that they're force talking? Because they just talk out loud. And we start discussing, Obi-Wan's asking, like, how did you know Vader was Anakin? Right, that's literally what's happening right here. Now, you knew who Vader was, is what's being said. How did you know that? So she's going to flashback. Now, notice her demeanor. She immediately changes. Now, she's been obsessed with this guy. She's been obsessed chasing this Jedi around. This is her in with Vader, we're led to believe. This is what her entire mission is. And suddenly, because he asked a simple question about how she knew, it's all about this emotional story of Reva. Oh, she's going to talk about being a child. And here comes Anakin with his blue lightsaber and just starts cutting them down. I assume this is supposed to be her. I don't know. It's a friend of hers. If it's not her, let's just assume it's her. Okay? I played dead. Anakin missed one. She hid amongst the dead kids. They talk. Like talking through a blast door, mind you. I don't know about you, but if someone is outside the concrete wall of the home and they're just talking like in a normal voice, how much you can understand. They're in a blast. They're through blast doors in space. And I assume there's other noise and stuff going on because presumably all of these future rebels are trying to escape, and all of these future rebel killers, these stormtroopers over here, are maneuvering around and getting ready. No, we can just talk through the concrete, through the giant metal blast doors. Anyway, she's so moved that the kid killed. That's what drove her. But she basically reveals that her plan is that she wants to kill Vader. She doesn't believe Obi-Wan will even kill him. Didn't kill him, so why would she believe he would? That was a fair motivation. Everything else is dumb. Like, why is Reva alive? She survived the attack from Anakin, who was turning into Vader. And then, when they discovered her alive, they kept her. They didn't transform her into an Inquisitor. They just made her look like this and then appointed her an Inquisitor. She allegedly has moved through the ranks out of this sort of like deep resentment that she was treated like gutter trash. That was gutter trash. So anyway, that's the story as we move through. Before she does the ultimate, she basically just a story alone on her own, because she just out of the blue just sticks her lightsaber through and cuts the lock. There you go, just cut the lock. I don't know why we didn't think of that before. Yeah, maybe she noticed it when she walked up there. We don't know. But she just cuts the lock and uses the Force. The door opens. He hits her with the Force. That's a pretty powerful move for Obi-Wan, who hasn't had much Force power at this point. So, all right. So, again, no one really appears interested in trying to get off this planet as much as they try to talk about it, because they're all just standing here firing at this army of stormtroopers moving towards them. And you just get random shots. Obi-Wan's doing this thing. And then finally you have a cutaway to Leia, who's just she's so charming. Like, she's so charming. Like,
he said it was a red breaker.
This is
Leia, we gotta hurry. Are you listening to me? I feel like you're not listening to me.
Would you stop talking?
Isn't that great? Isn't that just classy? Isn't she just so princessy? Isn't she just so princessy with her strength? You know, stop talking to me. He's trying to help her. It's supposed to be a red breaker. And when you cut to the scene, you see there's nothing red. It's all blue stuff. She's like, I don't see one. She doesn't say anything like that. Yeah, we're relying on this little child that can save the day. To open a roof so they can all fly out. Anyway, Tala gets hit. We know Obi-Wan kind of is crushing on her a little bit. She's crushing on him. So that's what's happening. He's kind of cutting down stormtroopers in the most lame pre-Phantom Menace way. Like, he's so weak and meek. 2 seconds ago, he used the Force to move Reva, but here he's having a hard time with stormtroopers. He should be mowing them down like they're nothing. They pick it. Disney Star Wars pretends that the troopers can't aim for anything. They don't know anything or whatever. So we don't know. We don't know. This is how it goes for a minute, and then there's some back and forth before she holds up a thermal detonator, and then she fires at the blast door and closes the blast door, which locks Obi-Wan on the other side, so he has to go on. And then she sets off the thermal detonator to give them time, so she saves the day. And that's where we kind of leave things for a minute, because then we have to cut back to the emotional moments and all of that. We have a quick little shot of Anakin and Obi-Wan back in their Attack of the Clones days, and then we're going to talk for a minute and all of that. And it's like, Haja, look out for Leia. Here's all my stuff. I'm going to turn myself in and buy ourselves some time. That's his solution. So this is what's happened. She's standing out here with her attitude, and they're all got their arms. And they come out. He's already bound. Kid you not. And they bring him out, and they put him here, and then they put him on his knees. That's right. The star of the show is put on his knees in front of Reva, and his grand scheme is, oh no. I'm bringing Vader to you. I'm going to rely on you to follow through and kill Vader. That's my big plan. The man that's in charge of taking care of Luke and Leia in this episode, de facto this series, his solution is not get off the planet. They've been standing around this whole freaking episode doing all of this. His solution is that he believes in Reva and that she can strike Vader down. Really. Anakin. He literally just got his butt wiped with Vader like an episode ago, 2 episodes ago, right? There's no signs that Reva or anyone else can hold their own to Vader right now. That's his plan. And then we're going to chat. She's going to scowl. He's going to look sad and pathetic. And then we flash back again. And none of this really connects to what's going on. So we're just going to go along that it makes some sense. And Vader shows up. This is the best. I love this so much. I really, really did. Let's see. Oh, he's getting away. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. I got to rewind just a tad. Okay, Vader shows up. And it's like, where is security inside, my lord? Oh, did you now? So the grand scheme was, I'll bring Vader to you. Then she's going to put him back inside with just stormtroopers, not watch him, not take him to the ships, and Obi-Wan just gets away. Obi-Wan just runs away. He just cuts down the few troopers and just leaves. And then, of course, Leia eventually figures out Lola has been deprogrammed by the Empire. That's why she has a red light. She fixes the light, and then suddenly they're able to open the door and get away. That's it. It all worked out. Just the last second. And then here they go. Oh, now everyone's running now. Obi-Wan's talking to Leia. There's a huggy hug moment. And then the only cool scene of the episode, in my opinion, like I really enjoyed the scene and the fact that we get to see Vader being powerful. So you see Vader just literally do what they should be able to do. What we all wanted to see Luke do in Last Jedi. And that was just like use the Force to just grab the ship. Just do it. Like it's just freaking great. It's a good shot. Now, CGI is a little cut out right there, but it's all right. It's not. I can go along with this for a little bit. I can have a good time with this part of the episode. So that's how it plays out. He rips pieces of machinery out, and then out of nowhere, another ship that just leaves. Sorry, let me back that back up again just a little bit further. It's hard for I'm trying to joggy that. So he's pulling the engine down. He's crashing the ship, pulls the pieces of it out, right? So all that comes out, and then he realizes there's another ship somewhere else. They leave. So all that, he had the wrong ship. I don't know who was flying that ship. Anyway, so now we cut to this scene, and it's like a trick. It's like, you're great, Anakin, but you haven't proved yourself. And he had used the Force and took Anakin's lightsaber away from him whenever he was appearing to lose. So Vader in his head is remembering this moment where he's basically been undone by his master again, is what we're going for. And he's just looking up into the sky. And then Reva shows up with her to try to explain where she's coming from. Oh, no, that's not what's going to happen at all. No, I mean, that was the plan, right? That she was going to figure out a way to stand up to Vader, ultimately kill Vader. And she had Obi-Wan in her grasp, right? So what could possibly go wrong? Well, he uses the Force to stop her. That's right. He was wise to use you against me. Was he really? Was he? She's had all these chances to kill him. This is so stupid. It's like she had to rise to the position of Grand Inquisitor to get a chance to kill him. That's the premise that we're going for, I guess. Anyway, so there's a really cool scene that he uses the Force, really not having to even draw his lightsaber like this. He just pushes her around, basically. She's so freaking weak and completely irrelevant. She goes to the double thing. They do the umbrella spin. They do all of that. And then Vader he's just a beast mode. He's like, no, you can't do anything. He just takes the other one. And basically, there's the quick shots of, the child, and basically just runs her through. Just like when she was a kid. But she survived that one. And then, because, Star Wars Disney, the Grand Inquisitor's alive. Now, no, he looks pretty intact. He doesn't even have a limp. And, just walks over, and more stuff about talking about how angry she is and her issues, and she's gutter trash, which we don't, again, understand why she's gutter trash or what makes her different than him. We don't know that he's different. But she's not quite dead yet. I literally kid you not. So there's a quick shot right here at the end. They all leave, as you can see. And then she's going to, oh, geez, it's like so fast. These shots are just like they're mixed in. So I guess Haja dropped the communicator. Oh, we didn't have this. Okay, that's why it's not there. Okay, so they cut to the ship. They're flying. They're getting away. They're all aboard the ship. There's a few chat moments, talk, and then she finds this communicator thing, and she's going to learn that about Tatooine, basically, which just seems like a major plot hole. Owen, so talking about Tatooine, and there's Leia, and this is how the episode is going to end on all this. Note. This is the great Star Wars that we get because we get a shot of Luke. That's how it's going to end. Because Luke is supposed to actually matter. It only slightly matters. We don't really understand how Reva become an Inquisitor, how and why she doesn't look different. We don't really understand how Anakin and Vader, how she knows so much. Like, we understand she saw Anakin murder them and tried to kill her. That doesn't mean he become Darth Vader, because presumably Obi-Wan killed Anakin, and then there's just Vader. You have no idea where Vader came from. There's no connection of the dots to explain that's who that is. Also, we don't understand how she survived the attack from Anakin. We don't understand how she survived this lightsaber attack. We don't understand how the Grand Inquisitor survived his lightsaber attack. Obi-Wan has really no agency, no authority role at all in his own show, to the point where he was literally kneeling before the Inquisitor with the grand scheme of relying on her to kill Vader while everyone just stands around and doesn't try to get off the planet. My God, this show is so scrap. A couple of scenes don't make a show, guys. You know, some cool shots of Vader don't make me happy. It's great. I'm happy to have them, but there's got to be some story. And I opened and I stand by it. Orville makes this look like a freaking JV club. Orville looks like a motion picture franchise that has a TV show series now. And Star Wars looks like a knockoff 70s show that just can't make it. It's going to just last for a couple seasons and get canceled. It's like it's okay for sci-fi, but it was like, yeah, it's all right. That's how I feel. Anyway, you probably think I'm crazy. Maybe you agree. Leave your comments and let me know. I appreciate your time, and I'm Pops.
Yeah. Right?